Welcome to Tigerz Gaming, your spot for official fan talk and everything LSU. I'm Tiger. Let's go, baby. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the LSU Tigers in the season of 2026. But before we do that, I do want to introduce my co-host. Richie, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good, man. Before we start, I really want to get into the weeds of like what you think this year looks like, man. What? I mean, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got Lane Kiffin year one. We got Sam Levitt coming in from AC. You know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. So, what are you feeling? How you feeling about this season, Richie?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like that Sam Levitt and I just feel like as long as he stays healthy this year, we'll be in a good state of mind, a good state of view. Most definitely. So we got a few 5 stars coming in, and Jordan Seaton, he's coming in at the offensive line. He hasn't played a first game, but he just transferred from Colorado State to LSU, so we'll be seeing how he does this year.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into, and I think the first thing that everyone is asking, I think the first thing that is on everyone's mind is the LSU-Clemson matchup. Now, LSU and Clemson, man, that's going to be an interesting game because it's right off the bat. Last year, LSU finished at 7-6, 3-5 in the SEC. They are rated number 30 in returning production this year. Clemson did okay, maybe a little bit worse. I would say about the same, 7-4, 4-4 in the ANCC. They're only rated 59 in returning production, man.
I want to point out something about, he's a junior this year, and he's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Supposed to be. So we're going to see how he does this game. And then, like I said,
we're live. So Christopher Viziana is sitting at 6'4", 210 pounds. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. He played 5 games last year. He went 45 for 71. Completion rate was 63.4, 406 total yards, with a quarterback rating of basically 36. That's not very good when you look at it. Obviously, he was sitting behind an all-star quarterback over at Clemson with Cade Klubnik. Now, Cade Klubnik was probably one of the best quarterbacks that they thought last year, and when he got drafted, it was Christopher Viziana's turn to take over for the Clemson Tigers. Now, if he's going to be successful in this game, there's a couple key matchups that he's going to have to do. First, he's going to have to deal with that crowd down there in Baton Rouge. Down there in the Red Stick. I understand last year they were saying that Clemson is the real Death Valley and all that kind of stuff, and we had to go up there and give them some business, I don't think that Clemson and a quarterback who has not experienced this type of environment is ready for the LSU Tigers down in Baton Rouge in the middle of the night. It's one of the toughest places to play in the nation. You cannot walk into Death Valley at night and expect to just come out of there with an absolute win. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I most definitely agree on you, Tiger. The crowd has a lot to do with it that night.
I think that crowd is going to be pumping. And
then I'm gonna point out a key fact that you said as well. Tiger Stadium is one of the hardest stadiums to play at night.
Right.
So it's going to be a matchup. I feel like LSU is going to pull the win and come out on top.
Yeah, we'll get into the predictions a little bit later here in the show, but realistically, man, I'm going to in order for Clemson to win this football game, Christopher Viziana has to play lights out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how that Clemson defense is going to fare against Lane Kiffin in year one with that explosive offense. He's got an explosive offense. He has a chance to push something in LSU that's never done before. When you get an offensive mindset like Lane Kiffin into with so much talent that rolls through LSU, there's a lot of things in there. The factors are going to be crazy, man. There's not going to be a whole lot of things that are going to be able to stop these LSU Tigers.
Most definitely. Like I said, yes, most definitely. I feel the same way. Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers, like I said, he came in from what we've been seeing at practices from starting at spring. He has came in and he most likely has turned this team around. Like I said, he has Whit Weeks as a linebacker.
Yeah.
He has Jordan Seaton as offensive lineman.
That's right. Seaton is a monster up front.
And not to count with Weeks, he has a total of 205 career tackles.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, if you look at the offensive weapons that Sam Levitt has, I would say one of the best offensive weapons in the country would be Tigerz Green at tight end. Tigerz Green at tight end. I mean, he's a monster athlete. He's very tall. He's a matchup nightmare.
And he has a total season of 433 yards, 7 touchdowns, and an average of 13.2.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Most definitely, I agree. Tigerz Green is going to be a most definite weapon, and like I said, Sam Levitt and Lane Kiffin should utilize that to the fullest.
And I think Lane Kiffin can utilize the talent at LSU. I know that there's a lot of talk about NIL deals and stuff like that. Richie, do you think that the NIL deals that they changed the dynamic of year one coaching?
Most definitely, the NIL deals change the way of coaching. Most definitely, it changes. For the simple fact, NIL deals give the player something to look forward to.
Right. Well, let's switch over and take a look at year one under Lane Kiffin, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about in that. It's year one under Lane Kiffin. Stats with Lane Kiffin. Okay, so let's talk about Lane Kiffin in year one at all these schools, man. Okay, year one under Lane Kiffin, he started as coaching at 2009. He was 8-6 at Tennessee with a record of 4-4 in the SEC. The USC, he was in 2010. He got hired on as the coach. He finished 8-5, 5-4 in the Pacific 10, and Florida Atlantic was his most successful season. It was 11-3. He went 8-0 in the Conference USA, winning the Baca Rations Bowl. And then, obviously,
say most successful season. I would personally put his most successful season at Ole Miss.
I'm talking about year one under Lane Kiffin. As his year one coaching, the most successful year one head coach that he was at Florida Atlantic at 11-3. We had Ole Miss when he started at Ole Miss. He ended up going 5-5. He was 4-5 in the SEC. He did have a victory in the Outback Bowl over Indiana. So year one under Lane Kiffin has been a spotty match, man. I mean, Lane Kiffin is a great coach, but I would beg to differ that the NIL and the money that they have thrown into the LSU program is something that is just you can't look past the fact of the money.
Yeah, not the fact LSU just put $40 million into a roster.
Yeah, $40 million is crazy when you talk about college sports, but I guess that's just the way it is now.
They just paid over 50-something million.
Brian Kelly.
The last coach.
Brian Kelly. That's right. They bought out Brian Kelly. They brought in Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was smart enough to hire back Coach Ed Ogeron, which he's not an actual coach, but he is a figure in the recruiting.
He's a defensive coordinator, most definitely.
So he's not the defensive coordinator, but he's involved in the recruiting of LSU. Basically, he's like a master recruiter, man. He came in, said that he was going to be doing a recruiting for LSU to try to get some of these 5-star recruits dedicated to LSU.
I think personally they did a heck of a job. Most definitely,
right.
They did a heck of a job. Like I said, as long as Sam Levitt will stay healthy this year, he performs as supposed to.
Well, that's an interesting.
The Tigers will be okay.
Well, that's a good one. Let's look at the Sam Levitt Christopher Viziana matchup. There's got to be something in there that has a lot of stuff. There's got to be a lot of stuff in here that we could take a peek at when it comes to Sam Levitt and Christopher Viziana. Now, obviously, just the sheer size of these two quarterbacks, they are pretty much even. Christopher Viziana stands at 6'4", 210 pounds with a quarterback rating of 38.6 in 2025. Sam Levitt came in at 6'2", 216 pounds with a quarterback rating of 65.8 in the year 2025. So when you look at the quarterback rating, Sam Levitt does have an edge over Christopher Viziana. I would say that he has an edge of an experience. I think he has an edge when it comes to, mobility, because usually taller guys aren't as nimble and all that. So Christopher Viziana seems to be more of a pocket passer presence than a dual threat. And I think that's ultimately going to hurt Clemson in the long run. I think that they're going to have to figure it out, man, because Christopher Viziana either is going to have the weapons to utilize to get his boys down the field, or he's going to have to sit in the pocket and be an absolute gunslinger.
most definitely. I just don't feel Clemson is going to be able to just run the ball straight up that LSU defense, bro. I honestly feel like they will have a most definite time at Tiger Stadium.
It's not going to be fun, and I'm telling you, if these boys want to do something with their season and Clemson's season, I know Dabo Swinney had a conversation earlier about how he didn't really want to dive into the NIL, that he wasn't going to spend all that money, that he trusted his recruits and trusted his players. Do you think that's going to hold well for Clemson?
No, that's not going to hold well for Clemson at all.
I truly don't believe that that's going to hold well for Clemson. I think that.
I'll put it this way. If it's not working, change it up.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out Saturday night in Death Valley, September 5th, or is it September 4th? We're actually going to be down there. We're going to be live feeding it for you guys. It's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to it. I know Clemson is definitely going to be coming in as the underdog. And
that's going to be my birthday celebration. So
that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun, Rich. I think Clemson is coming in as an underdog in this matchup. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how well this is going to bode for Clemson coming into Death Valley in the middle of the night. It's just not an easy thing to do, man. You cannot do that. And while we're talking about that, we're going to go into the schedule prediction. We're going to look at the schedule. We're going to see what you think about this 2026 schedule and the rating that you have. And I want your ceiling and I want your floor. What you got, Richie, when you look at this schedule?
My ceiling's automatically going to be 10-2. My floor is going to be 9-3.
Wow,
I'm going to explain that just a little bit in detail for you, Tiger.
All right, go ahead. I want to hear.
Clemson, automatic win at Tiger Stadium.
Ooh, that's a bold claim.
LA Tech, automatic win.
Yeah, you think?
Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin return.
Now, you know we're going to Oxford. When LSU matches up against Ole Miss, they are going to Oxford. They're not staying at LSU. And you know how the fans down there in Oxford feel about Lane Kiffin right now. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I think that is going to be my first key game that I have for this season when it comes to LSU.
My advice for Lane Kiffin, walk in that game with a chip on your shoulders because you got them Tigers behind you, baby.
That's right. Go Tigers. That's right, baby. We're going to have a good time with this one, man. I would love to see Lane Kiffin year one go back into Oxford, come out with a win, walking back to LSU with a smile on his face. Now, but there's some matchups in there that kind of scare me, man. When you talk about Ole Miss, yes, their coaching staff has been gutted, but they have one of the best quarterbacks at Trinidad Chambliss. Trinidad Chambliss is one of the best athletes in the country, and I'm telling you right now, man, this is not going to be good for LSU. He is a dual threat with his arm. He is a dual threat with his legs, and LSU's defense is going to have to show out in Oxford on Saturday night if they want to pull out with a win against Ole Miss. I don't know if we can do it. I have complete faith in the coaching staff and the players and the talent that LSU has.
Complete faith in the star linebacker Weeks.
Yes.
That he's going to prepare his team as a captain as he should.
That's right.
And they're going to be ready to go.
That's right.
Night.
I think so, man. And I don't know 100% what's going to happen when it all comes down to brass tacks. I would say that my ceiling for LSU would honestly, and you're not going to like me for saying this, Rich, but I think it's going to be 9-3 on the season. 9-3 is our ceiling, and I think we're gonna, at the end of the season, we're gonna be begging for a playoff spot, and there's gonna be a big argument about a lot of 9-3 teams possibly getting into.
Explain that to us a little bit, Tiger. Why do you feel like our ceiling is going to be 9-3 this year, and who do you feel like we're going to lose against this year?
I'll be honest, man. When we come off that bye week playing at Auburn, we have a stretch of Alabama, Texas, at Tennessee, and at Arkansas. Arkansas is not my worrisome. My worrisome would be Alabama at home. They've always had an upper hand and Death Valley against LSU at night, which is absolutely crazy to think about because it is one of the toughest places to play. But I've always said that if we were going to beat Alabama, we were going to Bryant-Denning. We were not coming back to Baton Rouge. I don't see it this year. I know that Kalen DeBoer has his boys fired up, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's definitely going to be a rodeo. But I think when we come off that bye week at Ann Arbor, coming back to Baton Rouge, the Alabama is going to wear LSU down. And the biggest thing about that, I'm not saying that we'll lose that game. I think it's a coin toss. I think we're at 50-50 when it comes to the Alabama Crimson Tide this year. But then we come to Texas. And Texas is going to be ready to go. They're going to be coming off of a high. And I think that they're going to come into Death Valley.
I honestly agree with you on Texas. I feel like it's going to be a 50-50 chance that we're going to beat Texas, brother. I don't know about that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Texas. You know, everybody rides off.
I know their quarterback's just coming off injury. I know that. I understand.
You're talking about Sam Levitt, right?
Ready to play.
Well, that's another caveat. Can Sam Levitt stay healthy for the 2026 season? And that's a mystery. It's a toss-up. We haven't even seen him in full pads since he came off of last year's season because of that injury.
And see, that's my only fear, Tiger. That's my only fear. My only fear is getting mostly through the season. Game 9, Game 10, Sam Levitt's not here. Sam Levitt's on the bench. He's hurt.
If we have
only fear.
If LSU has a healthy Sam Levitt in year 1, and our offensive line holds strong, and we're able to run the football, because LSU has to run the football this year. If LSU does not run the football, LSU is in trouble. And we have been screaming at the top of the hills for the past 5 years. Why can't LSU run the football? Is it the offensive line? Is it the coaching? Is it the it's not a lack of talent. LSU has had a talent.
Let me put it this way. When you go into LSU Tiger Stadium and you go play on an LSU Tiger field, you got to have swag with your team. If you don't match your swag with your team as a head coach, then you got nothing. If you don't treat your team like family, at the end of the day, like Brian Kelly didn't treat his team like family.
We're not going to have a conversation about Brian Kelly right now. We can't do that. Brian Kelly was something else, man. We're going to move on to the full screen, and we're just going to have a little open discussion, Richie. We're going to talk about some things, just a couple key things that I feel like we can have a conversation about.
Sounds good.
Now, if LSU comes out as let's say they come out at 9-3, right? Let's say Lane Kiffin comes out 9-3. LSU at the end of the season does not make a playoff spot. Is that danger for Lane Kiffin?
No, he has a 6-year contract. He's rebuilding the team from scratch, pretty much like Coach O did. He didn't get a championship until his second, third year.
Yeah, I mean he did do that, and I firmly
he rebuilt the team from the ground up. Lane Kiffin has to come in and rebuild his team from the ground up. Did he do that on his first year?
No.
We shall see.
But a lot of
his career, if he comes in 9-3 as an LSU team, no, I feel like the Louisiana people will be happy with a 9-3 record.
Well, let me ask you something, Richie. Why do you think Sam Levitt came into LSU? Like, what is the reason you believe Sam Levitt made the decision to come to LSU? If you had a prediction, what would you say?
It's the land of opportunity, baby.
Yeah.
LSU Tiger. I mean, Louisiana State. Period.
That's it. Well, we actually have a little bit of word from Sam Levitt right now.
If you go into LSU's record, 80% of LSU's players make it into the NFL.
That is true. That is a statistical fact, brother. And it's crazy that LSU has that amount of talent with the championships. That we should have more championships on that roster, man.
Not to count, brother. I don't mean to cut you off, but not to count. You got a head coach that was winged under Nick Saban.
Yeah. This is true.
Every 5-star in the nation should be wanting to go to LSU with that type of knowledge.
Okay, well, let's listen to what Sam Levitt has to say.
I think leaving ASU, I had a comfortable situation, walked in the building, I saw my guys, built great relationships, won a lot of games there. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, And it's funny, that's kind of what everyone's saying around here is just different. It really is, on every aspect. Like we come out here to the practices, the way individual reps are ran, the way that every single coach is just so poured into this. The time that we meet outside of, like the initial time we're supposed to meet, it truly is just a different situation. You talk about being a pro, trying to become the best version of yourself, and there's no other place to do it.
So that was word from Sam Levitt. He just said straight up, it's a little bit different down here in Baton Rouge. It's just a little bit different. And I think it...
Me personally, Tiger, I'm from Baton Rouge. You're from Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
It's different.
It's different. And I think that's what Lane Kiffin said as well. When Lane Kiffin went to his SEC Media Days and he was talking about why he made the decision to come in LSU, he said there was a friend that reminded him that LSU was the best job in college football. And we all know who that was. He didn't want to specifically display that. You know what I'm saying? But come on, let's all just not pretend like we know that wasn't Nick Saban that told him to come down to LSU.
No, it was Nick Saban.
It was 100% Nick Saban. Nick Saban told Lane Kiffin, go to LSU because this is the best opportunity for you to win a national championship. And it has been on Lane Kiffin's mind and brain to win a national championship. He's extremely competitive. He's had a lot of things go on in his life when his younger days or whatever. He had a lot of stuff that was sputtering, but I feel like he's in a really good spot right now where he's getting to know himself. He's getting to know his family. He's getting back to, who he truly is. And when he comes into himself, he's going to be a dangerous coach. He already is a dangerous coach.
Not to count when when he take care of them fans and them fans take care of him out there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Come on, preach with me, brother. Preach with me a little. Yes, sir. Preach with me, brother. And I'm telling you, man.
He got a family. He got a nation that's gonna stand behind him for life.
That's right, man.
Coach Ed Orgeron has a nation that stands behind him for life. Crawfish and A2Faye and Jambalaya, baby.
Yes, sir.
And once he tastes all that combination of business, man, he ain't gonna want to leave him or his family. I bet they having a vacation sitting in Baton Rouge, and they got. I'm pretty sure Lane Kiffin's eating a bag of crawfish right now.
That's right. He's ready to go, and we're ready to go too. And I will honestly come on here and tell you guys that this is our first ever podcast, and we've never done this before. So this is a shoot at the hip moment. We're going to get better. We're going to perfect this craft. Go back and look at the things that we can improve. We're going to get the fans involved eventually one day once we get this thing truly rolling. And I'm excited to introduce Tigerz Gaming Podcast to you guys. I understand that it's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way, but we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grind. We're going to continue all the way to the top, man. We're never going to stop. And I truly appreciate every single one of you coming in, showing a little bit of love. If you guys haven't already, please drop down and give me that subscribe button. Hit that bell because we're going to be on live at least once a week, and we don't want you guys to miss anything. Richie, give me your final prediction of the 2026 season. What are we looking at in September?
All right. So in September, my final
November. I guess it's November. I guess you should say November. My bad.
Yeah, but either way it goes, my final prediction, we're going out 10-2. And we're going out 10-2. My ceiling and my floor is 9-3, and I'm standing on that. We might lose to Texas. We might lose to Texas A&M. Their defenses are crucial. Their offense are great. Like I said, brother, man, Alabama, we might stand a chance.
I think we're going to be more than a chance. I think LSU is going to come out. I think they're going to be 9-3 at the end of the season. It's a possibility that it could get worse, and there's also a possibility that it could get better, man. We don't know what this team looks like. Lane Kiffin has built it with the NIL deals. He's coming out, and he is firing year one, man. The recruiting is hot.
That's it. If LSU can run the ball and accurately pass this season,
Harlem Berry is going to be a phenomenal running back for the LSU Tigers, and I think Caden Durham is going to improve off of what he did last year, because I think our offensive line is going to be a bit different this year. I think our scheme is going to be a bit different this year, and I think LSU I think we have a chance to make the playoffs this year, man. I think that we have a chance to go somewhere and do something with this roster that we have. Now, am I asking for a national championship year one out of Lane Kiffin? No. I don't expect LSU is going to win a national championship in year one under Lane Kiffin, but let me tell you something, all you SEC fans out there that's not Tiger fans, you boys better get ready, because them Tigers are coming on the Lane train, and we're not stopping until we get to where we are holding that national championship up. We're gonna be holding it. Yes, sir. We're gonna be holding that thing up in the end, and we're gonna be celebrating as Tigers fans. And if you're a Tigers fan out there, man, please come into the comments. Tell us what you think about this 2026 season. Please drop us a follow. Please drop us a subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss any content. And I truly appreciate you guys more than anything. I love you. Look forward to covering LSU football all year with you guys. And Richie, do you have any final say to the chat, to the fans?
Oh, chat, man. Y'all have a good season. Whoever y'all's team is, man, we look forward to facing y'all. We ain't on, man, we love y'all, chat.
Yep.
That's all I got to say. No matter what team y'all come from, man, we support, we love, we come from the good heart.
That's it.
Y'all.
All right, guys. Well, I truly appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a great night. And I got to say it one more time before I go. Tiger out.